This is massive. I say, this is massive. Arsenal closing in on double signing with Victor Gyokores' deal still hanging in the balance. Arsenal fans are bracing themselves for a potentially seismic day in the summer transfer window, with 2 signings set to be announced and a third major deal hanging in the balance. The Gunners, under the strategic leadership of Mikel Arteta and the recently appointed sporting director Andrea Berta, have been moving at full throttle to ensure key reinforcements are brought in ahead of the pre-season tour of Asia, which officially begins on July 18th. After confirming the arrivals of Kepa Arrizabalaga, Martin Zubimendi, and Christian Norgod over the course of the last 10 days, Arsenal's transfer activity shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, the North London club is on the verge of adding 2 more highly anticipated names to their growing summer roster, Noni Madueke from Chelsea and Christian Mosquera from Valencia. Both deals are said to be virtually complete, with all formalities taken care of, and only the official club announcements remaining. Noni Madueke's deal is particularly noteworthy, not only because it is yet another instance of Arsenal shopping at rivals Chelsea, but also due to the tactical flexibility and youthful flair Madueke brings. Valued at £52 million, the 23-year-old England international is expected to bring much-needed competition and cover for Bukayo Saka on the right wing, an area where the Gunners have been alarmingly reliant on one player. Mikel Arteta sees Madueke as someone who can contribute on either flank, a versatile weapon who fits perfectly into his high-press, fluid attacking system. The player has already completed the medical and agreed to personal terms on a 5-year deal. However, his participation in Chelsea's Club World Cup journey in the United States, where he featured in the semi-final against Fluminense, meant he was granted additional post-season rest, delaying the official unveiling. FIFA regulations mandate that players receive at least 3 consecutive weeks of vacation following their last competitive appearance, and Arsenal respected that rule, allowing Madueke some downtime before joining up with his new team. Meanwhile, Arsenal's second imminent signing, Christian Mosquera, has moved through the gears at an even faster pace. The 21-year-old centre-back was identified early on as a key target to reinforce Arsenal's defensive options. Talks with Valencia had been progressing steadily, but took a swift and decisive turn earlier this week when a breakthrough was found, resulting in the Gunners agreeing to pay an initial £13 million, with performance-related add-ons taking the deal slightly higher. Berta's negotiation acumen came into play here, managing to seal the deal below Valencia's original asking price. With pre-season already underway in Spain, Arsenal's plan is to have Mosquera integrate with the squad as soon as possible. Given that his last competitive game came on June 21 during Spain's U21 European Championship campaign, the young defender has had sufficient rest and is expected to join the group in time for the trip to Singapore. The timing of these announcements couldn't be more critical. The squad is set to fly out of London this Saturday, July 18th, and the club would naturally prefer to unveil both new players beforehand, ideally with photos of them boarding the team jet, an image that always energizes the fan base and sets the tone for the tour. However, with Friday being the only feasible day left for an announcement, Arsenal are facing a tight deadline. Complicating matters slightly, the Arsenal women's team captured headlines on Thursday after sealing a world record £1 million deal for Canadian sensation Olivia Smith. The media spotlight was understandably directed there, potentially delaying the men's team announcements to avoid overlapping major headlines. Even if Madueke and Mosquera are not expected to play in the early stages of the tour due to fitness integration and recovery timelines, it is still highly probable that both will be part of the travelling group. The experience of bonding with teammates, undergoing light training, and participating in behind-the-scenes content for fans is seen as invaluable for new signings. Arteta, who values team chemistry as highly as tactical acumen, would likely want both players to begin adapting to Arsenal's culture and environment immediately. While fans can celebrate the likely double reveal of Madueke and Mosquera, they'll also be keeping a close eye on the Victor Gyokores situation, which is teetering on the edge of a dramatic conclusion. Arsenal identified the Swedish striker as their marquee attacking signing earlier in the summer, and while personal terms with the player have been agreed for some time, complications in the negotiations with Sporting CP have dragged the deal into tense territory. The Portuguese side are reportedly haggling over every fine detail of the contract structure, including payment installments and add-ons, which has irritated Arsenal's camp. According to trusted transfer insider Fabrizio Romano, talks are ongoing every single minute, with Arsenal working around the clock to get the deal over the line. Despite the prolonged nature of the discussions, there remains a confidence within the club that an agreement will be reached. However, with time ticking away before the squad's departure to Singapore, it now seems increasingly unlikely that Gyokores will be unveiled in time to join the rest of the squad for the flight. Even if the deal is agreed in principle in the next 24 hours, the logistics involved, such as flying to London, completing a medical, signing paperwork, and conducting a media shoot, may simply be too much to accomplish in a single day. Still, there is optimism that the Swedish striker will be a gunner before the start of the Premier League season, and should he join shortly after the tour begins, Arsenal will have one of the most complete and dangerous squads in the top flight. The thought of Gyokores leading the line with Saka, Martinelli, Madueke, and Odegaard behind him is tantalising for Arsenal supporters, who are dreaming not just of another top-four finish, but a genuine title charge. As the summer window enters a crucial phase, Arsenal appear poised to pull off a triple swoop that could define their 2025-26 campaign. 2 of the 3 appear wrapped up, waiting only for their final ribbons to be tied. The third is inching closer with every passing hour. One thing is certain, the Emirates Stadium will be buzzing with anticipation, and fans won't have to wait much longer to see how this exciting story unfolds.